even though if I come on camera, it'll be different.
Right, okay, it's running there. Right, Nadia, just have run through a couple of things. So, with your previous trainer,
Yeah.
did he tell you about the different levels that the examiner will
Partly
portray?
trained and trained.
Well, there's 4 levels really. There's beginner.
Yeah.
Have you any idea what beginner would be?
Probably controls in a moving off and stopping.
Yeah, spot on. Yeah. Then everything else in phase 1 after that would be partly trained.
Mm-hmm.
And on the phase 2, it would be trained or full license holder.
Okay.
Yeah. There is differences between the trained and full license holder in the way you approach it. Because I'm forgetting they've probably been driving for about 20 years, but they could be out of the country or whatever. Yeah.
Okay.
So let's look at a partly trained subject today.
Yep.
So the word picture would go something like, I've had some lessons with another instructor, but I've never ever met you before.
Okay.
But he has got the same car as you, so I'm familiar with the controls, yeah?
Okay.
Today I'd like you to, we'll just pick a subject, emerging.
Okay.
So today I'd like you to teach me emerging.
Okay.
That's T-junctions, turn left and turn right.
Yep.
So what level am I?
Partly trained.
Yeah, what subject?
T-junctions emerging.
Yeah.
Turn left and right.
So, we're in the test centre car park, how would you approach this?
I'd meet and greet you,
Yeah.
obviously,
Okay.
and then I'd pull out a briefing book,
Yeah.
and I'd ask you what you'd done in your previous lesson. I'd also probably ask you if you'd done T-junctions before. I'd ask you about the MSM, what your understanding of it is, if you'd used it before.
Right, so anything to do with junctions
Yeah.
is going to be MSPSL, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah? So if you pull your book out, have you got yours or are you going to use mine?
Well, I've got this. I know it's a bit long-winded on T-junctions, if I'm honest with you, but I'll just...
You want to use mine?
I can do. I've not seen it before, so I might be a little bit...
It's just behind you on the seat there. So it's PST8.
Okay, Tony. Today we're going to be doing emerges.
Yep.
Are you familiar with the MSPSL routine?
Yes, I used a little bit of it last week on approaching turnings to turn left and right.
Okay, so what does MSPSL stand for?
Mirror, signal, position, speed, look routine.
Okay, well we'll be using that routine today as well on emerges.
Yeah.
So if we were to go left, first thing we're going to do is check our mirrors. We check our mirrors in pairs, if you remember. And do you know how we check them? If we were going to go left, which mirror would be checking
I'll check
first?
the left one and the middle one.
No, we always check the middle one first.
All right.
The reason why we check the middle one is for distance and speed of vehicles behind us.
Yeah.
And then we check our left mirror to see if there's any more bicycles
All right.
or even
Yeah.
pedestrians, if I'm honest with you. Then we signal in the direction we're going.
All right.
We position our vehicle, so if we were going to go left, it'd probably be a bit closer to the curb, but about a metre away from it, depending on the size of the road.
All right.
Probably our normal driving position.
Yeah.
Then we're going to reduce our speed, depending on the road we're about to merge into.
Right.
If it was a closed view junction, we'll reduce it to walking speed, which is about first gear.
Yeah.
And then we'd look into the road that we're going to go into.
Yeah.
Same with the right.
So if you just stay on that page for a minute. So, as you probably know, I have done last week the mirrors signal, and I probably have done a position for left to centre. But obviously, I need you to talk me through the what, why, how, and the consequences of each of these
Okay.
at least once,
Okay.
and then you can go into prompt mode.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To a certain extent, you can make a link with the speed.
Mhm.
As you just said, if I came to a closed junction, initially you're going to be stopping at all the junctions because you've got to give education, haven't you?
Yeah.
Any idea what education you'd be given?
Whether we regard it as an open or closed, what sort of speed we'd be travelling at, whether we can walk across, drive across.
Well, I need to know where to stop tonight.
Yeah.
I need to know how to position.
Okay.
And then I need to pick up, on the left-hand turn, I need to pick up a reference point for not encroaching the giveaway line. And I need to pick up a reference point so I'm not too straight.
Yep.
And if I was turning right, then I need to pick up a position for left to centre, which once you get me into and talk me through once and give me the what, why, how in it, then that could actually be linked to what I've done last week.
Okay.
And then we have to talk about the bit that I've never done before, or one of the bits I've never done before. It's the judgment, the look routine, yeah?
Okay.
So if I was turning left, as you can see here, we've got a picture of a man. He's walking across the road and walking back again, yeah?
Yeah.
So if you imagine this car here is not turning, I have to be able to judge whether I can go in front of this car without making it stop, slow or swerve.
Yep.
So to do that, I've not only got to emerge from the junction, I've got to get some speed up.
Okay.
So I need to be able to, the way I judge that initially would be if I can walk from there to the other side of the road and back again.
Yeah.
That should give me enough time to get out and get some speed up without making this car stop, slow or swerve.
Yep.
Yeah?
Yeah, that was actually a question I wanted to ask you as well, because I saw in one of your videos that when you were turning right, it was just walk across. But don't you then need to build up the speed to match that side of the road as well?
Yeah, so if we just turn over the page, and then you can see the right-hand turn. So if I was turning right, this red car is coming from my right.
Yep.
I'm only crossing the path of that car, aren't I?
Yep.
Yeah.
But aren't you trying to build up speed?
Yeah. So
you don't want that one to stop us.
Yeah. Yeah. But obviously there's two judgments to make, isn't there?
Yeah.
If the red car is coming from my right, my judgment, so I don't make it slow, stop or swerve, would be to be able to drive from the giveaway line to the other side of the road without making this car slow, stop or swerve. But the green car coming from my left, again, I'm going into the path of that car, yeah? So imagine that car could be doing 30 or 40 mile an hour.
Yeah.
I've got to be able to emerge from this junction here, get myself down the road, because I mustn't even force this car to lift off his gas. So I mustn't force him to slow, stop or swerve, yeah?
Okay.
So that's why I need to walk across and walk back again, yeah?
Okay.
That makes sense?
Yeah.
Yeah? So identification is on the phase one, is really important that you talk about identification.
Okay.
Once we get on the move, how do we identify these merges? Be telling me. Have you any idea how?
Houses facing our way, there could be road signs.
Yeah.
And cars driving past us.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it could be just a field at the end of the road.
Yeah.
So there'd be no good just saying houses on their own. Cars going from the left to the right is a good sign.
Yeah.
So you need to get in there very early and start talking me through what mirrors to check, when to signal, the position, and the speed. So how would you control the speed? How do you do it with your previous trainer?
To be honest with you, I didn't even do images.
No?
It was just weird one with him. But what I'd do is I'd probably say, after watching your video, I wouldn't say slow down, I'd say bring the speed down to about 10 to 15 miles per hour. And then select second gear.
The first thing you want to do is get me off the gas.
Yeah.
Yeah?
So is it
And
off the
get
gas
my
and
foot over the brake, so cover the brake. And then brake thickness of pound coin, another thickness of pound coin, another thickness of pound coin. We're getting speed down to 5 mile an hour, yeah?
Yep.
I'm not going to worry about the gears too much on approach to the first couple of emerges. We're going to worry about you trying to get me stopped at the giveaway line. Yeah? So obviously if I'm coming up too fast, obviously I wouldn't stop over the giveaway line if it wasn't safe.
Yeah.
But I could stop way too short of it.
Yeah.
Yeah? But you'll have an idea if your instruction is a bit iffy or a bit late, is that when I do stop, it's going to be a bit of a rough stop, yeah?
Yeah.
But obviously I'll make sure it's safe behind.
Yeah.
That make sense?
Yeah. So if I didn't worry about gears and you did, we just stopped. But if you were in, like, let's say third gear, wouldn't that make you stall sort of thing? If you didn't.
Well, not when I'm stopping, it wouldn't, no.
Oh, okay.
But obviously it would when I pull away.
Yeah.
Yeah?
And also, with the briefing, I guess we still keep it brief, don't we? And then we talk about this when.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I stop at the emerge, would be prepare yourself to go as normally.
Yeah.
Watch me, make sure I get first gear, because it's all about watching me.
Yeah.
And it's important I get first gear, because if I try to pull away in third gear,
You need to
yeah, I'm
resist.
probably going to stall, and I could well be out in the junction when I stall, which would be dangerous. And it would be a shock for the car behind if there was a car behind us, yeah?
Okay.
If you set these two mirrors up here so you can see as much of the back window as you can.
Yeah.
Now this has got to be, obviously I'll help you at the beginning, but it's got to be your responsibility of when you, if you want to hold me at an emerge,
Yeah.
if you have a clear road behind you, you can get an awful lot of information in on an emerge where there's nobody waiting behind us, yeah? But if somebody does come up behind me, you just have to tell me where to look and tell me when to go.
Okay.
So there'd be no good coming in with, is it safe? Because I wouldn't know. Yeah? So you'd have to tell me where to look, right ahead, left ahead, right.
So is it actually ahead or is it just left and right? Because bearing in mind it's just straight road, isn't it? Isn't that for crossroads where you look ahead? And
Yeah, ahead is mainly to do with pedestrians as well, isn't it?
Okay.
Yeah?
Yep.
And to do with junctions, pedestrians are going to come into the picture.
Okay.
Because if you think about it, a junction is a break in the curb,
Yeah.
where pedestrians tend to, they're not going to walk 100 yards down the road to miss the
Yeah.
junction. They're going to cross in the mouth of the junction.
Okay.
Yeah? And obviously, if you go back to the left-hand turns, and you have a look at this picture here, what else in that picture would affect me before I emerge?
That parked car.
Yeah. So this red car here is overtaking this parked car. Would it be best for me to pull out and then stop here? Or would it be best for me to wait at the giveaway line?
Let's just wait at the giveaway line.
Because who's got priority, the red car or me?
Red car.
Why is that?
Because he's already on that road.
He's already on the road, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah? So, that's what we call the devil's in the detail. That parked car there, even if there's nobody coming up and going past it, it's very good practice to mention it.
So if there wasn't a car behind me, is that a good way for me to add in if there was a car parked here, and the
Yeah.
whole peep and creep thing as well?
You can hold me at this junction
Yeah.
until the cows come home. Well, yeah, that mean all day, but you can fill in the blanks. Yeah?
Wouldn't that be kind of too much information in one go, kind of like a briefing, really?
Now, basically what we're looking at is get me stopped in the right place, get me to pick up the reference points,
Yeah.
and the reasons for the reference points,
Yeah.
and the consequences of not picking the reference points. And then you could probably, if there's still nobody behind you, you could probably say, on approach, Tony, we checked at the middle mirror for distance and speed.
Yeah.
We checked the left-hand door mirror to see if any cyclists were there. If they were, we wouldn't indicate if the cyclist was already starting to come down the inside of us because we frightened them.
Yeah.
And we certainly wouldn't turn in front of them because we squash them.
Yeah.
We signalled about 6-7 car lengths away, so people around us got time to react.
Okay.
If they haven't got time to react, they're going to panic and they could brake late or whatever.
Yeah.
And they could even confuse pedestrians.
And then
But it's not cast in stone.
Yeah.
There might be occasions where, if I've got a junction just before the emerge, I may have to delay my signal. Because if there's a car waiting to come out of this junction, they may well get confused, they come out in front of me, and I'd hit them or they'd hit me, yeah? That make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah? So I'll give you plenty of help,
Okay.
yeah?
Yep.
So you happy with that?
Yep.
Yeah?
And if I don't actually mention the stop signs and the giveaway signs, hypothetically in a briefing, I guess I get to cover that with telling you on the way.
On the move, yeah.
And what if I don't come across any stop signs? I'd mention it anyway. Try to
Yeah.
mention it. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so obviously the main points on the brief and the main points to cover on the move is where I stop.
Yep.
And there's got to be not just stop here because Nadia tells you to.
Mhm.
There's got to be a reason why.
Yeah.
And there's got to be a consequence if I don't do it. That's what they call consequences, isn't it?
Yeah.
And my judgment, yeah?
Okay. So the remedial action is actually telling them what the cause, why you need to stop at that line, because if you were to go forward, obviously you'd cause an accident. If you were to stop short of it, the car behind might just try overtaking you and you might force them into oncoming traffic, and it's that classed as a remedial action.
Yeah, if you look at the how,
Yeah.
the how with junctions is nearly always going to be a reference point, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, how do I know where to stop?
Yeah.
Well, I use that reference point that
So obviously first it's identifying it, then it's how you deal with it, and then the remedial action is, well, if they weren't to do that, the effects of it, the consequences of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And remember, on the first one, if you don't get a chance, because you know, sod's law, somebody could come up behind us.
Yeah.
You can't always get me to pull over afterwards.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I just kind of talk you out of that, and then get you to probably pull over or something. Because obviously I'd have to.
Yeah. Obviously we can't hold the car up behind.
Yeah.
Because that would be marked on the planning.
Yeah.
And we are holding the car up behind. He's going to get frustrated. And it's dangerous because he's probably going to try and overtake us to mount to the junction, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. So as you're talking to me, just keep an eye on what's happening in the 3 mirrors that you got there. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Make sense?
Yep.
Right. So, if you just ask me to set myself up.
Okay, Tony, can you set yourself up?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so what can you see in your middle mirror?
I see a portrait at the back window.
Mm-hmm.
I can see a bit of my head restraint and a bit of yours.
Yep. And what can you see in your left door mirror?
I can see kind of about 2 fingers to the car, and I can see right down the road. And this one, 2 fingers to the car, and again I can see right down the road. I can see that junction behind me. I can see that car going past me. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
yep.
Any idea how hot it is today?
It was 23 in my car.
26.
Wow.
So we start talking about identification now, yeah?
Yep. Okay, Tony, so we're going to start identifying these emergers. And what we're looking for is maybe houses facing our direction, cars going across the road in a different direction, and maybe there might be a field ahead of us.
Well down the road.
So at the end of the road, you can see the houses facing towards us.
All right.
So that's an emerge there.
And we're going to be turning left.
And we're going to be turning left at the end of this road, which is a bit tricky because we've got a car
So
park
check your
there.
middle mirror.
So check your middle mirror.
Make sure I check it.
All right, check your middle
All
mirror,
right.
Tony, and your left door mirror.
All right, yeah.
Yep, check your
All
left
right,
door
yeah.
mirror. And
Put
what
the
you
signal on now.
Put the signal on now.
Cover the brake.
Cover the brake.
Brake the thickness of a pound coin.
Brake thickness of a pound coin.
Thickness of a pound coin.
Thickness of a pound
Now
coin.
steer to me.
Steer to me.
Steer to me.
Steer to me.
That's enough.
And that's enough.
And tell me when to stop.
And stop.
Good girl. Just secure the vehicle, Tony. Prepare us to go, but don't go anywhere until I say so. I want to talk to you about
Okay, Tony. So
reference points.
put your select first gear. So
All
we
right.
wanna. So we're prepared to stop, but ready to go.
It's important to get first gear.
It's important to get first gear because if we started off or moved off in second gear, we'd stall and the car would shoot forward.
Yeah.
So what I want you to know, tell me, is where does the first curbstone cut into this car?
Which one?
That one there.
Oh, near that tax disc.
Okay, now that is your correct position to be turning left.
All right.
We don't want to turn too early because it would be going onto the pavement, and if there were pedestrians on the pavement, we'd be running them over.
Good one.
We don't want to be turning too late because we'd be kind of swerving on the outside, and therefore there might be a car coming.
Yeah.
Um,
And over here.
Also, where does that line, centre line, cut into the car?
Centre line or the giveaway line?
The giveaway line.
The giveaway line goes in just underneath the storm mirror.
Okay, that is your correct position to not be over the line. The reason why it's important to be at the line and not over it is because if there was a car coming from your right, we'd be forcing them to swerve, and we've got to make sure we don't get them to stop, swerve or slow down. If we were short of that line, the people behind us might think we're either parking up or we've given a wrong signal going a different direction. We might force them in oncoming traffic if they decide to overtake. And if there was someone from the left-hand side about to come in to the right, they'd obviously have an accident, collision with them. Yeah,
So if there was a car coming from the right, Tony?
If there was a car coming from the right, Tony,
Yeah.
how would you know whether it was safe to go or not?
I wouldn't.
Okay. So basically, if there was a car coming to the right, Tony, what we're going to do is, if we could walk across from one side of the curb to the other side of the curb and walk back,
Right.
we'd know it was safe to go. The reason being is because not only are we crossing the path of them,
Well, not crossing the path. I'm going
not
into
only
the
are we going into the path,
Yeah.
and we're also trying to build up enough speed to match the speed of the road.
path. Oh, right.
So this is why we walk across and walk back.
What must I not do to the car?
What you must not do is make sure that they stop, swerve or slow down.
Oh, right, yeah.
Also, if there was a car that was a bit closer and maybe there was a big gap and the car behind was at quite a distance, you can also judge whether it was safe to go if you could walk across and walk back. So we're looking for gaps in traffic as well.
Nice, keep an eye on them mirrors.
Okay, now there's a car behind us, so what I want you to do is
Look right.
Look right. Is anyone coming?
No.
Look straight ahead. Look
Up
to
to
the
there.
left. No one there?
Yeah.
Look to the right again,
All right.
and off you go. And look in the direction you're
All
going.
right,
So we're
yeah,
going left.
yeah.
It's very important to look in the direction we're going, because someone could have come into the road, that little child could have come into the road, so it's really important to look where you're going.
Turn right.
And I'd like you to turn right.
So it's important to look where I'm going, because if that child crossed the road.
It's important to look where you're going because that's the direction you're going, and you need to know what's coming your way.
Alright, what would happen if I didn't know?
If you didn't look in the direction you were going and a car came into the road, or if there was a pedestrian there or anything, you'd run them over.
Oh, right, yeah. So we're looking out for these emergers, Tony,
Yep, so we're looking out for these emergers, Tony.
and we can recognise them by.
And we'll recognise them by houses facing us. Park maybe at the end of the road, you'll see cars going in different directions.
Oh, right, yeah.
And that's about it.
And we're going to turn right.
We're going to turn right, and as you can see, this is an emerge because we've got houses
Yeah,
facing
so-
us.
check
So
your
check your mirror, Tony.
middle mirror.
Middle mirror and your right door mirror.
Yeah. Pop
So
your
check your
signal
right door mirror, pop your signal on.
Yeah.
And steer 5 minutes.
Cover your brake.
Cover your brake.
Steer 5 minutes
Steer
to
5
me.
minutes towards you.
Hold it there.
Hold it there.
10 minutes
10
to
minutes
me.
to me.
Hold
and
it there.
Hold it there and
And
stop.
straighten up and stop.
And stop.
Yeah?
Can you see that line ahead? No, you
Just
can't.
about.
Just about.
So you just
So-
prefer yourself to go as normal.
Before you set off to go as normal, there's no cars behind you, so we're going to stop here for a while. I want you to tell me if you can see that giveaway line.
Yeah,
Where does
just
the
about.
centre of that giveaway line cut into this car?
Just about there.
Okay, that is your reference point to make sure you're not over the left
Right.
centre of the line. There's a
You
car
have a big
coming
mirror
behind
there.
us, so off we go.
So just tell me where to look.
So I want you to look right. I want you to look left.
Yeah.
I want you to look right again. Is there anyone coming? There is a car coming. Could you walk across?
Oh, yeah.
Yep, so off you go.
So do you want me to stop on the left?
Yeah, could you just stop on the left here? Stop. Okay.
So now you can finish off your explanation about the.
Okay, so it's really important when you're going right to stay left of centre.
Right.
We don't want to go over the line because if we are, we're going into forcing ourselves into oncoming